What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Route Runners podcast. I'm your host, Jared.
James.
Jason.
James has resorted to just saying his name.
I don't need to say I'm in front of it. It's a waste of 2 letters.
It is.
And an apostrophe.
It's more efficient to
Yeah,
just say
exactly.
James.
It's quicker. We can save half a second on it.
So, yeah, it's true. So we're in round 6 of the Ultimate Redraft right now. Before we get to that, obviously there's some news that happened this week. Happens pretty much every week. Jason and I and a few of our friends recently just went to the Yankees-Cubs game yesterday, which we're not at all a baseball podcast. Well, these two definitely could do it. I know baseball, just not nearly as much as them, but it was fun. The Yankees won 18-4. It was definitely
It's
fun
fun
for
if you're a
Jason.
Yankees fan, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun for Jason because he's a big Yankee fan.
Huge Yankee fan.
I had a good top half of the first inning.
Yeah, Ian Happ hit a home run.
Yeah.
It was
He
good for
was on
my
my fantasy
fantasy
team.
He's on my fantasy team also.
He's in my home
That-
league.
Yeah, my league doesn't matter for fantasy baseball, but anyway, actually, first off, speaking of fantasy, this really has nothing to do with our podcast at all, but I made a trade in my home league. Both of you know about it. Both of you actually support it, so thank you, because I'm not a whole lot of that's going around. Anyone out there that's listening that knows about the trade and doesn't
I mean, to
like
be
it,
fair, you are the reigning champion, so
thank you. See, I didn't even tell him to say that. That's just how great it is.
I
That
feel like
did
your
win.
opinion should be a little higher than everyone else right now.
That's what I'm saying. But basically, I have the first pick. I traded away Deebo Samuel because it's a keeper league, so you can do that. And I traded away a 7th. I got a third round pick back, and we swapped our first round pick. So I'm at 3 instead of 1. And I have an extra third. So I have picks 3, 24, 25, 27 in the draft. And don't have a 7th, don't have Deebo anymore. And I don't have a first. But yeah, I still have Justin Jefferson in the 8th round as a keeper. So I think I'll be fine. Evan, if you're listening to this was a good trade, I think, and I can't wait to beat you this year. But anyway, we have some news to get to. A lot that has to do with training camp, especially in the wide receiver department. Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf are not showing up to their respective training camps because of contract issues. I feel like I definitely saw this coming with Terry, but DK was a lot more like involved and like said like he was going to still play regardless, at least when like the whole thing with Deebo was going down. And then now that kind of settled down, now he's kind of going back on that and he's not showing up. He's also injured, but I don't know. What do you guys think about these two not showing up?
Well, when DK said that he was going to show up, I feel like someone hacked his account because he would never say that. I feel like he's a crybaby. So by him saying that, I don't know. And then of course now he is not showing up because of money. So I expected it. I'm not surprised. Terry, I didn't expect because I know he's a good human, but I guess he just wants more money. I think Terry deserves money. He's like the only good weapon in that offense. And because Antonio Gibson was not the best last year, but DK Metcalf, I can't say the same for. So
Yeah, the Terry one, I honestly didn't expect. Like, yeah, he wants to get paid. I don't know. It's just like I'm not saying like he doesn't deserve money. Like I'm just saying like I just didn't see it coming. He just seems like a quiet guy. He's like, yeah, whatever, I'll just play and hope I get money. Like DK, yeah, like James said, he kind of seems like a crybaby. So it's like, I mean, I don't blame him. He has like Drew Lock throwing him the ball now, so he's probably not gonna like put up huge numbers like before, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's anything too big because, like you said, he is injured, so it could just be that he's resting a bit. But
I don't know. I think both of these teams are going to be pretty bad regardless. So I don't really think it matters too much that they're not showing up. I just think it's really annoying, like when you see how like DK said the whole time he's going to play, and then now he's not showing up. I mean, if it's solely about the injury, I guess that makes a little bit of sense. But
yeah, we just don't know yet.
yeah. Speaking
alive.
of what?
Back.
I said I'm alive. I'm good.
Oh, okay, yeah. Your camera went off. I was very confused.
No, I know.
Jordan Poyer is doing the opposite. He's having contract disputes with Buffalo, but he's showing up, which is good
Because he's not a crybaby.
yeah, exactly. He's the opposite of the wide receiver department.
Yes.
Actually, in your text, you said because he ain't a bitch.
See, I did say that, and I stick to that, but I'm trying to keep it family
No, I
friendly on this
agree. I
podcast.
agree.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm hypocritical because I say family friendly, and then I'll probably say something obscene in the next 5 minutes.
we'll see. Cooper Cup also got extended. I believe this happened on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. I mean, every penny was deserved. What a lot of people are like questioning how the Rams are getting all this money, but I'm pretty sure what all these contracts are is they're all backloaded. So like this year and I think the next like 2 or 3 seasons, like Cup will be making pretty much what he was making before. And I
Yeah.
think same with like Stafford and Donald. And then like by 2024 or 5, like that's when they're going to be getting like 40 million a year. So that's how the Rams are paying for everyone.
Hey, a good GM matters.
Yeah,
GM
it
lives
does.
matter.
I think a lot of it's guaranteed too. That's why they'd sign it because like obviously you get injured, but like they know they're. I think with it was either Cup or Donald's contract, like pretty much all of it. I think it was Cup's. All of it was guaranteed except like 5 million. So it's kind of like it doesn't really matter when he gets it. Like he's gonna get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Donald had like an extra 30 that wasn't guaranteed. He had like 60 guaranteed and then like another 30 if he played for them again. That
Yeah,
next
so it
year.
must have been Cup that I was thinking about.
That's weird with Donald. He either plays for the Rams or retires and then he gets 30 mil.
I'd be very surprised if he retires. Like,
Oh
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess he's like getting up there in age, but what is he like?
but he's still
31?
easily the best defensive player.
Yeah,
He's 31.
yeah. I don't know.
But still, like Von Miller's 33 and he's still really good. I don't even know. He's not gonna retire.
yeah,
I don't even know why
don't
people
think
are
I'd be very.
questioning
I don't either.
I don't even know
but-
why that was a conversation. I literally didn't expect it at all. And then all of a sudden it's like Sean McVay's begging him not to retire and these reporters are asking if he'll retire. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I
Like,
guess
it
it
just
was
didn't
just.
make sense.
I guess it was just because it was like after they won the Super Bowl, it's like, what else does he really need to do?
I
But
know.
like, if that's the point, then why wouldn't everyone that just won a Super Bowl just retire?
Right.
Yeah.
Tom Brady would have retired 7 times already. So,
Yeah, right. So
Well, he's already retired once, so
yeah.
I forgot that happened. That just made me sad. Okay.
Gronk has retired twice actually. Because I remember
Yeah.
he got traded to the Lions, then retired. And then he signed back to the Patriots, I think. What a Gronk move.
All right. Well, it is time to start round 6 of the Ultimate Redraft. Like we were talking, or like I was kind of talking about in the end of last week's episode, this is when the rounds really start to kind of get more tight. And well, in terms of us, we're really not expecting who everyone's going to be going with because there aren't really a whole lot of stars left. But this is where the draft is won, I think, in rounds like 5 through 7, because they're more of like the role players rather than the stars that are going to be good. It's definitely a lot easier to miss in these rounds than it is to miss, I think, in the earlier rounds. So most people who are listening to this will probably know pretty well or know everyone that was drafted in the first like 4-ish rounds pretty well. Round 5, I would say a decent amount as well. And then round 6, it can maybe get, there can be some players in here that may be very, very under the radar, but obviously still very good. But the Rams are up. We still have the spreadsheet. That will be a lot easier for you guys to see who's on every team and us. But Jason is up first with the Rams, so take it away.
all right. Yeah, so I had a lot of time to think about this pick. And I think with this team, I kind of want to. I already have 2 star receivers and then a QB who's. I wouldn't say he's probably like above average. I mean, he's played really well with the Vikings when he's had a lot of weapons. So I kind of want to just build an insane offense around him and maybe worry about the defense later. So I was between 2 positions here, tackle and running back. And I just feel like the tackle is more important considering I don't have any offensive linemen yet. So I'm going to go with the guy. He used His team did not have a good offensive line 2 years ago, but and then last year it still wasn't great. It was like the one point of this team that kind of, I guess you could say, held him back in the end. And but he's still a really good player. It's just, one offensive line isn't going to make a whole difference for the whole unit. And that is Lael Collins. He last year's his first year on the Bengals, right?
This year will be. He was still on Dallas last year.
Oh, he was still on. Oh, well, all right. I take back what I said about. Well, yeah, the Bengals were. Wow. All right, I'm an idiot. The Bengals, yeah, their offensive line is what held them back, and now Lael Collins is going to come over. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot we spell out names. Wow. All right. Yeah, rough start, but yeah, Lael Collins. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Sure. All right. Bengals. So on offense, I have a quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. So three key positions there. And then on defense, I have a cornerback and a D end. So I'm going to add and get another key position on defense to kind of make it an all-around team. And I'm sticking with the theme I've been going with for the past 2 rounds, and that's safety love, because not many safeties have been drafted. And this is kind of an odd one. I feel like you guys didn't have him on your list for safeties, and I think he's very underrated. And it is where is it? Adrian Amos, however you say his last name.
I do have him
Yes,
down.
he's very underrated, and apparently he's been the league's best graded safety over the past 2 seasons. I don't know how accurate that is, but hey, you know what? I don't care. He's a good safety.
And he's from Penn State.
He is from Penn
So-
State, so get him in Cincinnati, I guess. I don't know.
All right, I like that. And with the Chiefs, so we got Justin Fields as our young as our young quarterback. I think the offense is honestly pretty good. You got a good offensive line in Zach Martin, Travis Kelce. Obviously, those two can both block, and Kelsey's a great receiving threat. The defense, I think, still is going to need some help. I drafted Thibodeau for this team in the 4th round, which is the pick that, from myself, I most probably regret. I got Micah Hyde in the last round as a veteran in the secondary. I'm going to get another veteran, but on the defensive line. And this guy actually had the second most sacks last year in the league. I'm going with Robert Quinn.
Yay, Robert Quinn.
Yeah, he's kind of old. He's like 32 years old. He's been on like 4 or 5 teams as of now, but like he had 18 and a half sacks last year. He had more than everyone except for TJ Watt. He had more than Aaron Donald, more than both of the Bosas, more than Myles Garrett. So, I mean, I don't think Robert Quinn's got a great amount of time left, but he can definitely teach Thibodeau some things. And I mean, the fact that you're second in sacks and you're available in round 6, I think that's pretty good and pretty valuable. Obviously, last year it's kind of weird that his best season came at age 31, but I don't know. I think it's good value for how good he was last year and how late I got him here.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna stick with edge rusher. I haven't given an edge rusher to 49ers yet. I've been pretty balanced what I've done. They have linebacker, safety, QB, running back, offensive line. So I'm gonna just fill out another position here, create a balanced team here. And this is an edge rusher. I feel like he's definitely underrated, but he's also pretty young. So I feel like last year was like it was definitely his best year. I think he had 11, 12 sacks. He definitely had double-digit sacks. I think it was his first year doing that, but he's only 26. And he was part of a defense that they were number 1 seed. They just didn't go very far. And that is Harold Landry.
It's a good pick
Yay,
as well.
Harold.
It's a good pick as well.
Yes, I heard it. Well, I know it wasn't my pick. But. Okay. Cheeseheads is the Packers. Let's see. So for offense, the Packers only have Dak and Ridley. So I'm going to give Dak another weapon because I don't think he can do good with only one. And This man made the supposed greatest catch of all time against Dak Prescott's Cowboys, and it's OBJ. That's not how you spell OBJ. I'm just gonna put OBJ. I know he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl, but we saw what he did with his time on the Rams. And if he has an elite QB or a QB in his prime, Dak Prescott, then he will produce numbers. I still think he's really good as long as he's not a crybaby. I think he'll be happy on this team because you got a good quarterback. You got Calvin Ridley too. And then the defense is, besides Patrick Queen, the defense is definitely stable enough to obviously produce turnovers. So I think OBJ, I think he can be the wide receiver one of this team. I think he would like being that, especially having Dak as a QB and just love throwing the ball. So OBJ. I still think he has
All right.
potential as long as he's not a crybaby.
So Tampa Bay, their only defensive player is Joey Bosa. So I definitely think I got to help out on that side a little bit. I went with Micah Hyde the last round for the Chiefs. So to continue that Bills great secondary, I'm going to go with Jordan Poyer, guy who we just talked about. He's still showing up to training camp, even though he's in contract problems with the team right now. But Jordan Poyer is a great safety. Both him and Micah Hyde had 5 picks last year. And I mean, this, like I just said, the Bucs defense has pretty much nothing besides Joey Bosa right now. So you got to get some piece in that secondary. And Poyer's a pretty good vet that can fill in there. And I think he's still got a good amount of time left.
All right. Let's see. So for the Titans, I'm gonna stick or go back to offense. I should say. They only have Matt Ryan and Terry McLaurin right now. So Matt Ryan's old. He's not a fast guy. He needs someone to protect him so he can get the ball to Terry McLaurin. So it's not like a situation like in Washington where Terry has no help. So I'm gonna take a guy. He's still pretty young. Let me look up how old he is. Oh, I can't spell. He's 28, but he's been pretty good in his career. Besides the fact of some injuries, last year he only played 1 game, which is kind of concerning. But when he has played, he's looked like one of the best. Not one of the best, but one of the better tackles in the league. We are in the 6th round, so I'm not going to get one of the best players in the league. But okay, all right, yeah, I'm going with Ronnie Stanley.
Oh, I forgot he existed.
Yay, people existing. It's always good.
How did I not get that? I don't know.
I don't know. How did you
There are a
not get
lot of
that?
people I haven't gotten. I didn't have Odell.
I didn't either.
I don't know. I just thought of his name.
No, I think it's a good pick.
No, yeah, no, it is. I just I don't know why I didn't think of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I don't know, or I don't know why I didn't write him down.
Maybe because I'm cool.
Very cool.
I'd like to think so. I love coffee. It's so great. Okay. Where are my Bills? Okay. Again, this team has 2 Chubbs and a Jefferson, a Denzel Ward, and Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson's too young to not have at least some bit of protection for him. So I'm going O-line here. And this guy was he was on an O-line that had Jonathan Taylor. And it's not Quentin Nelson. And it's the only other guy I can think of on that O-line, and it's Ryan Kelly. I don't think he was drafted. So
Nope.
he is the center on that Titans Colts O-line, and Zach Wilson's definitely gonna need some help because he will not be able to develop and be a star QB by himself. Even with Jefferson, he's not gonna be able to throw to Jefferson if there's no one protecting him. So Ryan Kelly's a start. And with the O-lineman available, it's kind of like it's hard to choose. So I just kind of took the best guy, one of the best guys available, I think, in my opinion. Who also I just realized existed too because I just read upon his name. So there you go.
All right. Dallas has a pretty all right team. Another one where I can kind of go anywhere. Like they got their quarterback in Derek Carr, protection with Tyron Smith, Tyron Matthew, and Arik Armstead on the defense. Deontay Johnson at receiver. I'll make it even and go 3-3. So I'll give them a defensive player. And I'm gonna go with the safety that I think, he's had a rough start. Well, he had a rough start to his career because of play that happened against him in the playoffs. It's called the Minnesota Miracle. If you don't know who I'm talking about yet, it is Marcus Williams. Other than that, though, he's had a pretty solid career. I mean, sometimes he just does forget to push people out of bounds. But other than that, he's had a pretty solid career and have a nice safety duo with Marcus Williams and Tyrann Mathieu there in Dallas.
All right. The Cardinals, I'm gonna go back over to defense. It's another team I feel like it's after this it'll be pretty balanced, but like I feel like it focused on the offense a little more. Yeah, I spent my second, third, and fourth round pick on offense. So I think it's time to go back to defense, even after going with defense last round. And I have a feeling I'm going to be drafting a lot of this position today, as I found a lot more edge rushers, looking through more players before this. And the one I'm going with today, I've thought about before, but I don't think it didn't make sense to me until this late. He has the talent to be like a top 4 round pick, I'd say, but he is 30 years old and he has kind of slowed down. He was injured for most of the season last year, and he has put up really good numbers in the past, but they've kind of dwindled down just because before last year, their defense was pretty bad. In terms of like yards allowed and stuff like that, was probably like one of the worst. And that is DeMarcus Lawrence.
I did not realize he existed either. This whole draft has just been me realizing people exists.
I had Lawrence for a while. I was gonna pick him with the Cowboys like both times the last times, and I just didn't.
Yeah, I was kind of unsure about it because he is getting older and he still has a talent, I feel like. So that's what it came down to for me.
Yes. Okay, this one's tough. Because this team, where the Raiders, they need some defensive pressure. So I need to draft someone on the D line. But the question is who? And that's kind of where this struggles, because there are so many good D linemen that I don't know who to take. Let's see. Again, I just came back from work, so I had no research, and I've been working like all week, so it's not really fun. Okay, screw it. Again, this is kind of an iffy pick, but he has the potential to be a star, and he's on probably the best defensive unit in the league in the 49ers. It's a D tackle. It's Javon Kinlaw. It's out there, but I don't know. I feel like he has potential to be really good. I don't know where I just got that from, but I may have just ruined that team. But he's young, and I think he can develop into something special. So take a chance on him.
Yeah, he definitely could. Definitely.
I know it's a very out there pick. I don't know. Again, I've had no research, so I'm just kind of going off what I see here.
All right, so the Patriots have had their last 3 picks has been defense: Brian Burns, Stephon Gilmore, and Rashawn Gary. So I'm going to help out the offense a little bit. This will be my first offensive pick of the day. We already got Quentin Nelson on that offensive line, but I'm going to finally give actually, I'll give Jameis. Actually, no, I'll give Jameis a running back. I almost forgot that this guy existed as well until like maybe a little bit, maybe like 30 minutes before we started this. I'm going to go with Aaron Jones. I think that Aaron Jones is one of the best pass catching running backs in the league. And I think that
the upside.
Yeah. Well, in an offense with Jameis Winston, I think you're going to be passing the ball a lot. But also when you have Quentin Nelson on your offensive line and you have Bill Belichick, you're probably going to be running a lot. Aaron Jones is a guy that can carry or can handle, I think, a 25 carry workload, and I think that it works well. And I think that I'll just make this team a little bit more run heavy, at least for now, with Aaron Jones on the pass. And he's not terribly old. He's what, like probably 26 years old. You can still get a good amount of years out of Aaron Jones, I think. 27. So, maybe a little old, but I like it.
All right. The Steelers, I really started out just going with offense. My first two picks were Debo and Trent Williams, but I then realized the QBs left kind of suck, and I switched over to defense, and I'm still not going to give the Steelers a QB. And I'm going to go to the secondary. Actually, I don't want to say that because I'll just give it away right away. But, I'm not going to make this long. He has not played a game in the NFL yet. I think he'll be a top corner after this year. He's that good. Derek Stingley. I know we haven't gone with too many rookies yet with Thibodeau. Anyone else? Evan Neal.
I
Garrett
drafted
Wilson.
Pickett.
Garrett Wilson. Yep. I think that's it.
I drafted Pickett.
Oh, yeah. Pickett. That's right. All right. So 5 now. 5 rookies.
Okay. So what, Eagles? I'm like disappointed in myself after that Kinlaw pick. I just panicked because I feel like I'm pressured to make a pick in a certain time. So
You'll be okay.
It's okay.
he's not terrible, but
He's
whatever.
not. He's also like 23, so he's got plenty of time.
Okay, so let's see. Hold on. See if he got taken. Because if he got taken, I'm just fucked. Oh no, he didn't. Okay. So the Eagles, I went all offense here and then drafted homeboy Fletcher Cox in the last round so far. And I'm gonna help Fletcher Cox on that D line because they're just all about getting pressure. It's not gonna be an edge rusher. It's gonna be another inside man. It's Jonathan Allen.
Ooh, I like that.
I probably should have taken him instead of Kinlaw, but at this point, again, this is all about me just forgetting people existing. So I just remember Jonathan Allen existed. So that's why he's on the Eagles.
I mean, that's kind of what this entire thing's about. Like, look at the end of this list. There's 192 players that we're going to be drafting by the end of this. So, like, if you remember everyone, like, it's kind of actually that's kind of a problem. So,
Yeah.
all right. So for the Saints, I got Kyler Murray
Oh.
and DJ Moore on the offense. Defense, I think, is pretty good with a good corner duo, Mario Davis and the interior defense. I didn't
Say
I don't know
Demario Davis.
Demario,
I
whatever.
don't know. I'm just messing with you.
Well, now that I'm looking at it, I can kind of use an edge rusher because there's none on this team. Nah, I'm still gonna help out Kyler on the offense. And something that was really missing for the Cardinals last year, and especially in the playoff game against the Rams, was help on the offensive line. And this guy's, kind of old, but he's only 31. Like, I still think he can play for a little bit. And it's Ryan Jensen of the Tampa Bay Bucks. Again, we saw how great that Bucks offensive line was in the last 2 playoff runs. And I think that he's a guy that can help out Kyler Murray from the center position. And yes.
Yes. All right. For the Chargers, not gonna lie, this team, it's like considering they're my favorite team, it's not where I want it to be. I feel like the defense is good. The offense kind of sucks. It's Carson Wentz and Braden Smith right now. Like that's not great, not ideal. So I'm gonna give the offense help, and I need to give them a weapon. So I was between running back and receiver, and there are definitely still a lot of really good receivers, but I just don't feel like there's the top tier talent left, or not too many, maybe. However, I feel like there's still one running back. There could be more. There's one running back who really stands out to me as a top talent, and I don't want to say like broke out last year because he's always been really good. He's just kind of been held back by a bad team. And that is Joe Mixon. He's a really well-balanced guy. He can catch passes, he can block, he can run well. I mean, he's going to be the focal point for this offense as of right now because, I mean, it's Carson Wentz and no receivers yet, one offensive lineman. So I have a feeling he's going to be putting up big numbers in the Chargers offense.
Yes. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, sorry. I just zoning out. Dude, I almost fell asleep on the drive home. It was bad.
Oh, no.
Back home from work. It was not great.
We almost died in the rain yesterday. It was fun.
That sounds like fun. So much fun. Okay, so Colts. This team has let's see. Oh, they have they have Mac Jones throwing to Julio and Devontae. So I think the offense is set for now. They have Devin White and Bates, so they need another guy, or they need a guy on the D line. And why not throw someone in there who loves to play with the law and kind of be a dumbass? And it's now on the Broncos, it's Randy Gregory. Wow, I can't spell. Randary, I'm just gonna leave it. Honestly, just whatever.
That's funny. All right.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
Oh, I thought you were done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, besides his suspensions, he had a good 2 years of a breakout. Like he looked like he was breaking out. I think he's good. He'll be a good guy to have as long as he doesn't get suspended. But if we're just simming this in Madden, then that's kind of hard to do. So
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be pretty hard to get suspended in Madden, but you never know.
if he does, then I will be utterly surprised.
Him and Josh Gordon.
Yes. Ooh, that's who I'm not going to pick.
So Miami has 4 offensive players. So I'm good on that, probably for the rest of this entire thing, unless I wanted to build on the offensive line a little bit. But I'm going to build on the defense a little more. And when I said like going into this round, like this is like really where like you may not that you may not know who this is, but like you may not know like how good he is. I feel like most people do know who this guy is, but he had a real breakout season last year. I've just been picking a lot of the Green Bay defenders. I feel it's Devondre Campbell.
That is a guy.
Yeah, he had a
He is
great
a guy,
season for
yeah.
Green Bay last year. He was one of the best players on that entire defense, especially like when Jair Alexander got hurt and Zadarius Smith basically didn't play a game. The Packers defense was still really good. And he's like, I believe he was like 7th in either tackles or sacks, and can force a lot of turnovers as well. So get him for that Dolphins defensive line. You have a nice front so far with Myles Garrett and Devondre Campbell. He's also, I think he's actually, I don't know how old he is, from being that honest. He'll be 29. So he's in his prime, if you're asking me.
29 is nearing the end of his prime.
Yeah.
All right. For the Ravens, I'm gonna go back to offense. I focused a lot on the defense early on. So I have Trey Lance and Austin Eckler, and so I'm kind of committing to like that read option game, as I said before. So I want to go to the offensive line now. And it's kind of, once again, this is like a player like you may not realize he's very good. Oh, wait, he's actually from the same team. But I want to say he's versatile, which like is kind of weird to say from an offensive lineman, but he can really play anywhere on the offensive line. That's what I kind of like about his fit for this team, because he can move. He's pretty quick for a offensive lineman, I'll say. So he can kind of get around on blocks and stuff like that. And so I'm taking Elton Jenkins.
Can I be honest with you?
Sure.
Never heard of that name.
He's on Green Bay. He's
Oh,
pretty good.
I have not done that much. I have not dove deep into that name.
I did not write him down, but he's good.
Nice. Oh, me? Okay.
You.
Me. Browns. Cleveland Browns. They need some help on the defense because I gave them 2 outside linebackers. So we're gonna have a guy who doesn't blitz and instead drops back. And it's again sticking with the safety theme. It is Sir Jeremy Chin.
Oh, I forgot about him. I was thinking him the other day, and I was like, oh
When,
yeah, I
when
gotta
you were
write him.
telling me about Javon Holland, and you're like telling me how like he's young, that's who I thought at first.
Jeremy
Yeah.
Chin.
Oh well.
Well, oh well.
Jeremy Chin has made a lot of spectacular plays, and he is going into year 3, so he's still extremely young, and he's been developing. He gave up a lot of big plays as a rookie year, but he kind of contained half of them second year, so maybe he'll contain half of that and only give up a quarter of the big plays. So hey, you never know. But with all this pressure from TJ Watt and who's the other guy? Wait, TJ Watt and Shaq Barrett, I feel like he's going to be there to make some acrobatic and athletic picks. Because yes.
All right. So this Vikings team is pretty balanced, I would say. We got Lamar and Jonathan Taylor on the offense, and then the last 3 picks of the defense. Pat Surtain in the secondary, Jeffrey Simmons and Eric Kendricks, who I now realize I did not put the I in the parentheses, even though it really does not matter. So I'm going to help out the offense a little bit, and I'm going to give Lamar a receiver. And not a lot of, I think everyone kind of talks about this guy when you're talking about people that are underrated in the NFL. And I'm going to go with Brandon Cooks.
He is underrated.
He's only 28 years old. It seems like he's been in the league forever. And he has a really great, he's played with Drew Brees, Jared Goff, who when he was good, Brady, now with Davis Mills, and whoever his quarterback is, he always produces really well. And I like him as a wide receiver 1 he's a wide receiver 1 for the Texans. And like, he's definitely he's probably the best player on that entire offense, maybe the best player on that entire team. And now, he gets Lamar to throw on the ball. He can be a deep threat. He can be a guy that can run short routes. Like, he can kind of do anything. So him, Jonathan Taylor, and Lamar as the big 3 for an offense. And I think Brandon Cooks in 6th round is pretty good value.
All right. For the Commanders, I got to go back to defense. I've focused on Tom Brady, the offense a lot. So I need a guy who is going to lead that defense, kind of get everyone set. And so obviously middle linebacker. And I think there's another guy who's very underrated, and a lot of people don't really know a lot about him. I feel like in college, he was kind of overshadowed by another linebacker on his team who was one of the best linebackers in the league until he retired pretty early. And he's part of a defense that's always been really solid and honestly up there in the league. And one for I wouldn't say the best defense, but they're always like a top 10, top 5 defense. And that is Matt Milano.
Nice. Okay. The Seahawks are my only team without a QB. And I'm going to stick with the rushing theme here and kind of take a rushing QB, but it's not going to be Taysom Hill because I need someone who can actually also throw the ball. And this team has Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry found success when he was partnered up with QB Marcus Mariota.
Ooh.
He's starting right now for the Falcons. I doubt he can remain a starter, but again, you never know. This team's all about rushing, so I got Taysom Hill is not a great reliable option. Mariota still has some starting potential in him. He's young. We saw his potential on the Titans for his first 2-3 years. And you pair him with Derrick Henry again, and you got a deadly RPO option right there. If we're keeping the coaches here, Pete Carroll will work some magic there. Which this is kind of just throwing smoke at Pete Carroll because I'm drafting an all rushing team on the Seahawks. And if people get the Super Bowl joke, then there you go. But out of the possible QBs, it was between Cam Newton, Taysom Hill, and Marcus Mariota. So I was like, pair Derrick Henry with Mariota again. Screw it. He likes him. He has chemistry with him. That offense is going to get rolling on the ground.
All right. This Denver team has Stafford and Diggs, Joel Bitonio to protect, and then we got on the defense Marlon Humphrey, and we have Kenny Clark. I'm gonna kind of make a pick on the fly here. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna go with a middle linebacker that actually led the league in tackles last year. And this will 100% be the weirdest name that I will write down in this entire draft, or anyone will. And that is, honestly, I'm not even
Oh, I
going
know
to
who you're
say
gonna
it.
say. Foyesade Oluokun.
Is that how you,
Just say Foye. I don't even know.
Wait, did he actually lead the league in tackles?
yeah, he had 190 tackles last year.
Okay.
Either 190 or 180. I don't remember. But he, the Falcons defense has been known to be pretty lackluster over the last couple of years. I'm just looking up his age. I think he's pretty young. Yeah, he's only 26 years old. He's going to be on the Jags next year. They overpaid for him, as they do with everyone, but you need a middle linebacker that can be a quarterback of a defense. And I mean, if this guy could be on an actual good defense, maybe a lot, because he led the league in tackles last year with the Falcons, maybe some good things can happen for that team. And obviously they already have, I think, a pretty good start to the defense with Marlon Humphrey back there, who could force a lot of turnovers. And you have Kenny Clark, who's a really good run stuffer. So you got, it's going to be tough to run on Denver if they have the leading tackler and Kenny Clark.
All right. I'm gonna keep this next pick kind of short.
There goes my phone.
It's kind of a boring pick. Kind of just like, I don't know. I'm gonna help the offensive line. Give Russell Wilson some time to throw it deep to Tyler Lockett. So I'm gonna go with a guard here, Joe Tooney. He's like only 28 or 29. He's very consistent. He's always been one of the better interior offensive linemen in the league. And for the Patriots, he's been a staple there until he went over to the Chiefs. So I think there's just a really safe pick here. You can't really go wrong in a part of the draft where you could go wrong. So Joe Tooney.
Nice. Let's see. All right. Wait. Okay. So this is kind of, I'm telling you right now, I'm drafting a running back, but this is kind of a running back that's, I think, underrated, but he's not really looked at as like an elite running back. And it's Joshua Jacobs. I don't think he's looked at, or I think of him still as kind of, he's up there. I mean, he's broken second most missed tackles since 2019, other than Nicholas Chubb. And he's a really good elusive back, and he's a good receiving back too. He can do it all. So I think you have him back there. Yeah, he's had injuries, but he can be a workhorse back. He can be a receiving back. He can be whatever you want, and he's also elusive. So if Joe Burrow needs to dump it down to someone, then he should not be afraid to dump it down to Joshua Jacobs.
All right. So Carolina, we got Matt Judon and Minka on the defense. I'm going to build on the offense a little bit. We have Deshaun, who we don't know if he's really going to be playing, but as of now, we're hoping he does. Teron Armstead and Amari Cooper also on the offense. I'm going to go a little off the board here.
Okay.
I
never knew there was a board.
Well, there is. I could probably get this guy a lot later. He has not taken an NFL snap yet, but he's one of my favorite college players of all time, which is it's kind of a weird thing to say that about him, but I'm going with Travis Etienne. Kind of surprising because he's Travis Etienne, and like again, everyone kind of shits on him because he was drafted to the and like people don't like that he was drafted at 25 to the Jaguars, but that's because they already had James Robinson. But first off, I think Travis Etienne can be a much better pro than James Robinson is, who is good, but still. His ability to shake tackles, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield at Clemson is one of the best I've seen from the college level. And obviously we don't know if that's going to transition fully to the pros, but I thought he was a better running back than Najee Harris. I don't really know if that's going to continue to be the case because we saw how great Najee was in Pittsburgh. And there definitely could be better running backs that I have written down that maybe you guys are thinking of that I maybe don't even have written down. But I think that, getting a running back at this point,
What the hell?
I don't think it'll hurt you that much. And I think that he's going to be great for this Panthers team. Deshaun has not had a great running back really throughout his entire career. So I think that, maybe a little out there, but I think that with how good he was in college, I think he's going to transition to the pros really nicely. So I'm going Travis Etienne.
There's a spider in my room and I saw it and then it jumped.
Spiders can jump.
Apparently. So that's not fun.
Okay.
So while you're making your pick, Jason, I'm gonna go try to kill the spider.
All right. Have fun. All right. I have two teams left that don't have an edge rusher. That is the Commanders and the Giants for now, because I'm going to give them an edge rusher. This is a guy he's kind of bounced around the league a bit, and he's still pretty young, and he had a really good season last year. He's just a guy who flies under the radar. And he's always quiet about it, I feel like. I think he started out with the Jaguars and he was on the Raiders last. Well, yeah, pretty much so. Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, I also forgot that he existed until I just saw his name when I was looking up people like about an hour ago. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's
I
right.
completely forgot about him, and then I looked at his stats, and he had like 11 and a half sacks last year. Look. If this will load. No, never mind. He had 10 sacks last year, but like his first 5 seasons, he had 8, 12, 9F, 8, 8. And then the next 2 seasons, he had 5 and 3, but he also only played 5 and 3 games or started 5 and 3 games. So like he's still a very good player and he's still young. Yeah, he's only 27. Like he has a bright future ahead of him.
Mm-hmm. He's only 27.
Yeah, apparently.
Whatever happened to Telvin Smith?
I think he retired.
He was also on that team. I'll look that up now. I'm not taking him.
I'm making this pick quick because I want to try to kill the spider. Jets need some D-line help, so Montez Sweat.
I wrote him down as well.
Yes. Okay. Back to killing the spider. I mean, Montez Sweat can explain himself.
I don't think so, but that's fine. All right. So
okay, never mind.
With this Texans
the spider
team,
literally jumped off the wall. It jumped. Whatever. Great.
All right. Anyway, this Houston team is the team that I went all defense for, at least for the first 4 rounds. There are a lot of defensive players left that I'd be very okay with taking here. I'm just not going to do it because I want to build at least a little bit of balance on my teams. So Javonte Williams was my first running back that I picked, or was the first offensive player that I picked for one of my teams. And I think that he, building the running game for an offense like this, where you went defensive heavy in the first round, is probably a good idea. Obviously, this team needs a quarterback, but like I just said, I think building the running game may be a little smarter. And I think that having, the Lions and the Jaguars both have quarterbacks with Josh Allen and
I found it. Sorry.
Good job. With,
I didn't kill it yet. I just found it.
oh, well, so with Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. So I'm not going to take a quarterback because obviously neither of those two teams will, and they
Got
may
it. Let's go.
Good job. and they may take the guy that I take here. So with that very long intro for no reason, I'm taking Brandon Scherf.
Oh, I was thinking about him.
Another
I was
guy
between
that,
him and Tooney.
yeah, fair enough. Brandon Scherf's like 30 years old. Been a pretty good like piece on that Washington offensive line for a couple of years or for a while. I think he was drafted in like 2014, 2015, something like that. So yeah, you have Javonte to run the ball, Scherf to block. Quarterback will be the next pick for this team. I got a few in mind, and yeah, I think this and the Pats are my only teams that. Well, they are my only teams without receiver. The Chiefs don't have a receiver either, but they have Kelsey. So like,
All my teams
feel
are
like-
QB. I think all my teams are receiver too. I know I just cut you off, and I know you're probably mad at me and gonna hate me for like 10 years, but
yeah.
Yeah.
okay, nice.
All right. So right now, I think the Lions are my best team. I'd say, I guess one thing I could point out about them right now is that it's a very young team. So I'm actually going to take a veteran player here who's still very good and leads one of the best defenses in the league year in and year out. I feel like a lot of people don't really recognize this guy as much as he should, just because like it is one of the like there's so many. I don't want to say there's so many good players on the team because just like they're always good no matter who's on the team. And so I'm going with a safety here he always grabs like three or more picks a year. He's always batting balls down. He makes a lot of tackles too. That is Devin McCourty.
He's old.
He's like 34, but he still plays. He's still been really good
Yeah,
past couple seasons.
yeah.
He had 3 picks last year, 2 the year before, 5 the year before that.
Okay. And to end off round 6 is the Jaguars, who have Mahomes at QB. I need to start giving Mahomes weapons, and I'm taking a man who the Jaguars drafted and had a crappy year, but is on a better team now. And it's probably easy to guess from that, but it's Allen Robinson.
Damn it.
I mean, Robinson would do good with Mahomes as a QB. I think we all know that. So I think he would be back to his 2020 form with Mahomes as a QB. So I don't know. And with the receivers left on the board, I think he's very undervalued because of his year last year. And again, with Mahomes at QB, he will produce numbers like 2020.
I've been considering Allen Robinson since the Cowboys pick, and I
Well,
just
there you go.
never did it. I
Now
remember.
Mahomes has a weapon.
Yeah, that team is very good in my opinion. But so that concludes round 6. Again, I think I've said it a million times now, but I think this is kind of where the draft is won. Like players like Jeremy Chin, Ronnie Stanley, Brandon Scherf, Jacobs, Lyle Collins, like all these guys, like they can make real impacts, but they can also completely miss, and their careers could either not be nearly as good as we thought that they were as of now, or it could just be completely different. So definitely an interesting round. I enjoyed this round. We have, I believe, just the Texans. Oh, the Texans and the Steelers are the only
Yeah.
teams without quarterbacks. And then we have not many teams without receivers.
I think all my teams have a QB and a receiver.
I know
Wait.
though
No, the Seahawks don't have a receiver.
yeah, the Seahawks don't. The Texans don't.
I have
I know
quite
who
a
I'm taking for
few
the
teams
Seahawks.
that don't have a receiver.
I know who I'm
actually.
taking for the Seahawks for a receiver. It's easy.
The Pats also don't, and the Chiefs also don't. But again, they have Kelsey, so they kind of do. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting round. I feel pretty good about the picks that I made in this round, honestly. Much better than I did in the last round. I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I feel much better about my picks this round than the last one.
Yeah, I like my picks this round. I don't.
Besides Javon Kinlaw, I like my picks.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I mean, I don't really.
Javon Kinlaw was a panic pick, but I still think he can turn out to be something good.
Yeah, so was Thibodeau like early on for me, which again, it still could end up being good, but like it's just funny because I picked Thibodeau in the 4th round and Hutchinson and Trayvon Walker are still on the board.
Well, I'm not going to draft Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I would consider both of them. Like, I was considering Hutchinson with Denver's pick, and then like more on for that. But yeah, all right. So that was Talbot Smith did retire, by the way. Not that that matters for anything.
Nice. He was good on the Jaguars, who now have
He
Allen
was.
Robinson, who is also on the
Yes.
Jaguars.
So yeah, let us know what you guys think about round 6. What's today? The 13th. So next time we do this should be the 20th. James, you go at the 27th, correct?
Yeah.
So we'll probably take a break after round 7. And then I think we still got a good amount that we can do. So we'll definitely do it more when you come back. When James is away, we're still going to be pushing out content. Shrieker will be coming back for that. And me, him, and Jason will be doing probably either division previews or fantasy previews. I guess we'll figure that out by then. Maybe a little bit of both, but we'll figure that out. Those will be that's what is going to be happening in the 2 weeks that James will be away. And then we'll figure everything else out from there. But the redraft is still going through right now, and I think we're definitely going to have enough people to keep going past round 7 when James gets back. So middle of July will be round 8, 9 if we get to it, 10 even if we get to that. So we still got a good amount of time for this redraft left. You guys got anything else to add?
Yeah. Go Cubs.
Sure.
No. 18-4 win for the Yankees yesterday. It was a fun time.
New York owns baseball.
For now, they do. For now.
Yes.
For
They're
both.
the Yankees and Mets were the first teams to reach 40 wins. So
Again, for now, I don't know if either of those teams are going to be able to keep up.
definitely not the Mets. The
Yeah,
Subway
I mean-
Series this year, if both teams are healthy, is going to be insane.
Those
I would-
tickets are going to be very expensive.
Yes, if both teams are healthy. I mean, both teams. I know this isn't a baseball podcast, but both teams get injured very quickly, so both the seasons could be on a decline by
Yeah,
next week probably.
yeah. I feel like the Mets have been doing better because they've
They've been good without DeGrom and Scherzer, and when they get them
that's
back,
what I'm saying. Like, I think the players that have gotten injured for them have been much more impactful than the Yankees. Like, the Yankees, the one that really like is supposed to hurt is Chapman, but it
Yeah.
really
it
hasn't.
has nothing on DeGrom and or Scherzer. if I'm
Yeah,
being
well,
honest.
that too. So I think the Mets have been dealing better with their injuries.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Yes.
But yeah, again, it's not a baseball podcast, but
Ooh,
I mean,
we should do a podcast for like a Subway Series special. That'd be money.
I would do that.
don't
And again,
know when-
I'm
No?
not as big into baseball. I'm getting more into it, which is
But you are a
good.
Yankees fan, so
Yeah,
you
I am a
could-
Yankees
could be
fan.
on it.
I
And I'm the
know
only Mets fan here, so
I know a decent amount about the Yankees. Probably enough to talk about them. So, all right. So again, that was round 6. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment below on picks that you either really liked, didn't like, just your overall thoughts on some of the teams. And we will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys for listening.
meh.
But